Thank you for the time. You have just come back from the central government and taken this crucial ministry of road transport and highways.
Yeah.
How do you see the basic challenges in this ministry?
Uh, you can have a road, but you must have a good road. You must have a smooth road. And it also helps in reducing accidents. It's not the speed or the time taken for the travel, it's the safe travel which is very important. So if the condition of the road is good, there is a temptation to go fast, but you have the riders. And you can go on a steady speed and you will be able to complete your journey. So a good road is very important, not a mere road.
But the government of India had set fairly ambitious targets for constructing new highways, especially national
Because
highways.
we have a very vast country. So if you want a farmer to benefit, he should get his requirements like fertilizer, seeds, manure to the place of use, that is the farm.
Yes.
Now what he produces, if he has to get a fair price, he has to send it to the market, not only send it to the market, in the least possible time, in a fresh condition.
Yeah.
You don't have that kind of cold storages all over, or even the transport vehicles with cold storages. So if within the time fixed, if you are able to transport it in the shortest possible time, and the distance of travel is also least, the cost added on to the produce will be less, he will be able to recover more money, which becomes viable.
No, but we had targets of 20 kilometers of autoroutes per year, I think. Are we anywhere near achieving that?
We are very much on the higher side. We are not able to achieve 20, but we are able to achieve 13 plus. 13 plus is a good average considering the problems we face. Number one, we have to acquire the land. If you have to build the road, you have to acquire the land. It's not enough if you sanction a project, you have to acquire the land. The second part is flora and fauna and environment. These are very important aspects which we have to keep in mind. So unless even if you get the land, you have to have the sometimes forest clearance, sometimes wildlife clearance, sometimes environmental clearance. These are very important aspects which we have to deal with. If there is any delay on this account, the project itself gets delayed. Otherwise, achieving 20 kilometers, say, is not a big challenge. We will be able to surpass that provided all these things are in place.
One of the biggest components in this could be foreign collaboration and foreign investment. Do you think it has so far been of the appropriate level?
We have to encourage this so that money flows in, and if investment comes in, you have development. And as I have told you, if we are able to carry our items to the villages where these things are not produced, and what the village produces and it is surplus, we are able to carry to the market. I think any project, whether it is foreign funded, where the cost of the project will be slightly lower than the project funded with internal resources, because the interest rate within the country is slightly higher than the investment we are getting from abroad. Otherwise, it doesn't make any difference for us between the internal investment and foreign investment. The only advantage with the foreign investment is lower rate of interest and assured supply of resources. That makes our projects move faster.
So European countries like France, Spain, and Germany are fairly advanced, not only in having the, I would say, the necessary financial muscle, but also in the technical know-how. How to build safe highways and how to build all the amenities that go with the highways, automated toll systems, and all that. So, how do you plan to encourage
Yeah,
these
we
countries?
are also very keen on these things. You drive along the highway. You want to have a cup of tea. You want to have refreshments. You want to freshen up. These facilities should be provided to the public. So we are including these things in our projects, including developing townships. If we are able to develop a township, instead of making rural people go to urban areas,
Yeah.
if in their own vicinity we create a situation where they get the urban flavor, then I think their land also picks up in terms of value, and they will be the beneficiaries. The modern facilities they'll be able to get. The biggest thing is the communication.
Okay.
There were days when we had to walk miles together to go to a telephone booth,
Mhm.
miles together to listen to a radio. I
Yeah.
mean, today everybody on his palm has a mobile and a television set and all communication.
True. True.
I remember days we used to go uh, miles together to listen to a radio announcement. So
Okay.
those were the days we have seen, and we have seen today. Everything is at your beck and call,
Yeah. Yeah.
and any information. For example, I meet children today.
Yeah.
I talk to them. I ask them questions, and when they are not able to answer, I tell them, how much time do you require to get me an answer? They say, sir, at least a day. But I tell them why the answer is on your palm. The other day I asked a student, a young engineer, what's the height of Taj Mahal? He said, give me a day, sir, I'll come back to you. I said, the answer is in your hand. In 2 minutes, he told me 171 feet.
Okay.
So, this connectivity,
Yeah.
whether it is by road or whether it's by cable or whether it's wireless,
Mm-hmm.
brings you to your doorsteps everything that you require.
But talking of communication, I think India needs to communicate a bit more with the European companies to attract their investments and their interest in these sectors.
We are at it, we are keen on having interaction and also connectivity with the European countries. We are also keen on sending our youth to serve in the European countries, because when I was Labour Minister, they said, you train your people, we have enough opportunities here. So if hands-on experience, if our youth are able to get, they will have employment. If they have employment there, they will send their remittances back home, and the two-way traffic starts. What we produce maybe will be much cheaper to be sold in the European market,
Yeah.
because the conditions under which you have to produce, maybe the cost will be higher than what we can produce here and market. It will be a two-way channel. Two-way channel.
Uh, but are you planning to mount roadshows in Europe to attract, to create greater awareness about Indian opportunities in the road sector?
We are not averse to that, or rather, we would like to encourage people to come to India and invest. But what we need is good roads, maintenance-free roads.
Yeah.
And if we can get maintenance-free roads, that is saving. We don't mind the cost of construction is slightly higher if we get maintenance-free roads, because what you save in terms of maintenance, the same money will be available for us to take on a new project.
What role do you see for roads in boosting tourism in India?
There are destinations in this country which are beautiful and worth seeing, worth enjoying. But if you don't have facilities for the tourists, even to stay, you don't have a nice room, and the lodging, boarding facilities, then you can't encourage tourism. Days of walking and going are over. Today, even some of our temples, tourists used to go by walk. Today, they are asking for helicopters. Cable is old generation, outdated cable. They are asking for direct helicopter dropping, so that in 1 minute you finish the darshan, you get the prasadam, and you are back at home. Instead of a total journey in the earlier days, from our place, people used to go to Kashi, Varanasi, Kashi. And that was at the age of after 60. And going after 60 means he has finished his journey in his hometown and he is going to journey to heaven. Somebody may not return, somebody may, lucky he is able to return. So that connectivity is very important. Roads are very, very important. And we should take it to every village. Now,
Pradhan Mantri, add one question here.
Pradhan Mantri Sadak Yojana.
Yeah.
On the one side, we are talking of 4-lane, 6-lane, 8-lane roads. But Pradhan Mantri Sadak Yojana, we have built about 4 lakh kilometers of roads.
Okay.
On that, 2 lakhs are very good roads. What roads you find in urban area? The better quality roads you can find connectivity to the villages.
Okay. Do you have any figure how many villages are now connected and how many remain to be
That
connected?
is where I said we have already built 2 lakh
No, sir.
kilometers.
How many villages remain?
It's almost we are connecting to all villages.
Okay.
Our connectivity, the program itself is to have connectivity to all the villages. All the villages.
Needed to ask a question here for promoting domestic tourism.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so good roads would play a big role there.
Yeah.
So have you looked at that part?
Yeah, we have, the focus that we are giving is what is local tourism. Our people are very religious. Our Indian people are, whichever community you may belong. So we are thinking of flagging this particular aspect of people going to religious places or religious places where we need to widen the roads. For example, last time, 2 years ago, in Kerala, there was a big tragedy. And that tragedy was on account of the flow of people going to the shrine. And such a sad thing that we could not handle such a situation, despite knowing how many lakhs of people are going there, not thousands, lakhs of people going there. If there is a commotion, there can be anything happening, stampede happening and people dying. So we have to deal with this. We have to give top priority to such places of tourism, religious places of tourism, where we will provide the best of the roads so that easy movement is there, the heart's desire they are able to fulfill, to go and get Shanti. I will use the word Shanti is peace.
Okay. One more thing, as India is developing these, broader and faster roads, unfortunately, the accident rates are also climbing. So, what measures is the ministry taking to?
See, the accident rate is increasing not because the roads are wider and maybe if you process it properly, you can say the accidents are coming down.
Okay.
But why the accidents are going higher is because of the negligence of the drivers.
Yeah.
80%, 79.5% of the accidents are on account of rash and negligent driving. Now, adding to that, 1 or 2 express highways accidents are taking place because the speed they are gaining is so high that the tire bursts and people started dying. Now they have started fixing cameras, regulating the speed. With that, the accident rates have come down. Definitely, wider roads will not be a cause of accidents.
No, because it
On the
allows people to go at a much higher speed.
that is
Then,
it. The
yeah,
speed,
Responsible driving.
yeah, speed is the moot
killer.
question,
Yeah,
which should be regulated.
Mm.
And I have coined a slogan. I tell any driver who doesn't drive properly, I don't call him bad. It's a culture. I say you should visit Lucknow. I don't know, you have heard about a place called Lucknow.
I know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the culture in Lucknow is Pehle aap. So what they say is anybody, if you are in a hurry to go or you know you are you have to move forward, the culture there is please you move forward. If this slogan is adopted by us in the country all over,
Yeah.
and as a culture in the country, that pehle aap, then the accident rates can be drastically brought down.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and driving can be a
Yeah,
pleasure.
And one more thing, talking of accidents, do you think there's adequate medical facilities available along the highway?
It is not there. At the moment, adequate medical facilities are not there. People do not know where the hospitals are. If it is in the interior, people have no clue whatsoever. We have just launched a scheme very recently, a cashless treatment scheme for accident victims on Gurgaon Jaipur Road highway, national highway, where anybody who meets with an accident will be evacuated within no time. The ambulances are in position. Our Nehru Yuva Kendra workers have been trained, about 61 or 69, I don't remember the exact number. They have been trained and they bring vehicles, ambulances, and they, whatever on the spot first aid is to be given, that is given. If some kind of a treatment is to be given, that is also given on the spot, and they are shifted to the nearby hospital so that they don't die. The first thing what we try to do is to save the life.
True.
Now, if you are saving the life, then there will be a saving for the insurance companies also. You have to pay a heavy compensation if somebody dies.
Yeah.
So it will be not only saving the life, it will be saving the money also.
True.
So now another 2 states we are trying to bring in this pilot project. And once we find that it is effective and doable,
Yeah.
we will replicate it in other states. But at the same time, our effort is that along the national highways, we have that kind of development. One is petrol pumps,
Yeah.
another is first aid centers, hospitals, trauma centers, washrooms, all kind of facilities required by tourists are made available to the tourist.
And have you set any targets for yourself in this ministry?
See, I've told you my predecessor had worked out a target of about 20 kilometers. But going by the ground situation, reality, and knowing that there is difficulty in acquiring land, we have also said you can start a project if 90% of the land is in your possession. But that 10% gives all the problem that is. So we need to solve that also.
Yeah.
But I hope in the next months we will speed up things.
I have a question. Sorry, have you
Please,
too?
thank you.
I wanted to ask a question which is not related, but on a general thing. Talking about corporate governance, yeah, and it has a great impact on.
I didn't follow what you mean by corporate
governance would mean, you know, the ethics of corporate, codes of working.
Raj-dharma has come in India. Raj-dharma is not a new thing.
Yes. So I want you to just talk a little bit.
Yeah, everything is based on Raj-dharma. So, if I am to quote Mahatma Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, to wipe the tear from every eye. And that's what was legislated yesterday. And to put it in my own words, it is not what it cost, It is what you can afford.
Okay.
If I am to explain to you,
Yeah.
if rice is costing you 30 rupees a kg, you cannot afford to buy that.
Right.
If you have a rupee in your pocket, you have 3 rupees in your pocket, you can buy 1 kg of rice. That is what you can afford.
Versus.
You will get that, not what it will cost. That is the basic principle of Raj Dharma. Make it possible for a poor man to live
Useful.
and happily live.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
your time.
sir.